this little gadget, this blue and black hunk of sensors, optics, and electronics, has changed my creative life forever. This is the Einstar, and trust me, there is no going back. But before we get into that, let's take a trip down memory lane. This is me at 21 years old. I'm wide-eyed, full of dreams, and absolutely head over heels for anything and everything 3D computer graphics. I was convinced that this technology was going to change lives, and I was obsessed with figuring out how. I jumped headfirst into experiments, I launched startups, and I even traveled the world, learning how to harness the power of 3D graphics to fuel creativity. I had this burning desire to take intangible ideas and make them real, to give form to the formless, to manifest the imaginary. But as I stumbled my way forward along the journey, sharpening my skills as a designer, I had a realization that forced me to adapt my entire approach to design. Sometimes, to make the digital physical, you've got to start by making the physical digital. And that's where the Einstar comes in. This compact, user-friendly 3D scanner has become an essential tool in my creative arsenal. Despite its unassuming size and comparably reasonable price tag, this thing is actually really good. So far, it's allowed me to design things in hours that would have normally taken weeks. Take my micromobility brand, for instance. I spent months banging my head against the wall, trying to get my hands on drawings and CAD files from manufacturers. Spoiler alert, they were not interested. But with the Einstar, who needs them? I could just scan the thing myself. It was like having a cheat code or a creative superpower. Suddenly, I could whip up millimeter-accurate shells in a couple of hours. And I don't know how much time you spend doing CAD work, but if you can shave days or weeks off of a project, that is a huge win. And in my opinion, that completely justifies the cost of the scanner. But it's not just a tool in my engineering work, it's also been a big help in more creative tasks. Case in point, I was pretty fed up with how my Stream Deck was sitting on my desk. So I scanned the Stream Deck and scanned my infinitely patient wife's hand, did some finishing and modification in Blender and SolidWorks, and I was able to cook up this really cool desk stand, which I then 3D printed on my X1 Carbon. The entire project, including print time, was done in less than a day. Now my Stream Deck looks awesome, and my wrist doesn't hurt when I use it. The more that I use the Einstar, the more that I'm blown away by its seemingly infinite creative potential. It's tackled problems in my everyday life, helped me kickstart new projects, and injected some much-needed fun into my work as a designer by taking so much of the guesswork and monotony out of the equation. Way less time spent tediously measuring out products, less time spent in intense negotiations with manufacturers over CAD files. It's made the work of designing so much more straightforward. In fact, the Einstar has become such an integral part of my creative process that I cannot imagine going back to working without it. And I'm pretty sure that this is just the beginning. With the mind-boggling leaps and bounds we're seeing in 3D technology combined with the emergent power of AI, the future of digital art, design, and engineering is looking brighter than ever. So, if you're a creator looking to crank your projects up to 11, do yourself a favor and check out the Einstar 3D scanner. It might change your life too. Because if you get right down to it, that's what technology is supposed to do. It should empower us to be more creative, more efficient, and more innovative. And the Einstar is one of those rare pieces of technology that actually succeeds in that. I hope my little mini review of the Einstar was helpful to you, and if you'd like to learn more about the Einstar and get into the nitty-gritty details of developing products or doing creative art with the Einstar, I'm working on an in-depth tutorial that will show you everything you need to know about using this scanner and getting great results with it. So please subscribe if you want to see that. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in, and as always, don't you ever stop making things. Peace out.